Hello, I'm going to use Microsoft Word here to show you how you might plan out and even create a logo or a brand for yourself and for a web page to set the tone and the mood and to provide a customized graphic. And you can do one of two things. You can create it here and take it into Photoshop or Illustrator or anything that you know how to use now to edit and expand on it, or you can just use the logo as you created here. I'm going to use both Word and PowerPoint so I can show you how to do some different things in different programs. Also, you ought to make sure you know what kind of website you're going to be using so you can plan this to look the way you want it to do. I have some things already determined here, so I'm just going to show you how I did mine, and you can use the same process. I wanted something that had an image that represented me, was a little bit sophisticated, a little bit elegant, and had something that branded it to mine. So I decided to use my initials and an image of a rose. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So first I insert a text box because I am going to use text to convey a feeling as part of my design. And of course my initial is L, and I've already chosen a font that I think I like, and it is Lucida Calligraphy, and you see it kind of makes a fancy L there, and I'm going to make this large, about 48 points. You can bold, do whatever you need to do. And I can do this again, recreate the B for my last initial, but I think I'll just make life easier, and I'm going to edit and paste this one and just type in a B. So now I have two my initials, and I want them to be together, and in order for them to float and be able to be together, I need to align those. So I'm going to something I want to do there. I'm going to make sure I get the right element here, which is arrange. Here we go. Arrange to wrap text, and I'm going to say in front of text. That way I can move it anywhere on top of another item. So I can now grab this and put it next to the L. It's sometimes difficult to find where those things are in a particular version, but if you double click on the item you're trying to use, usually the things you need will come up, and in this case it's condensed under arrange, and it's wrap text. It may not sound intuitive, but that's how you get it to go either in front or behind. Now this is fine to have those two, but I want to add an image as well, a graphic representation. So I did already choose one, and I'm going to insert a picture from File here, and I'm going to use my Downloads folder because I think that's where I put it. Sometimes hard to find. That probably takes the most time, finding the there it is. There we go. And it doesn't really fit with what I wanted to do, so I'm going to rotate it. Here, I'm going to grab it. So this will allow me to do that. There we go. In my design, and I'm going to make it a little smaller. And this too won't go where I want it to go if I don't wrap it. Now in this case, the picture format came up with the tool I need here, and I'm going to say behind text so that I can grab this and put it exactly where I need it to be. I'm going to bring the L over, I'm going to bring the B over, put it down where I need it to. I'm going to bring this over and put it where I need it to. None of this would happen if I didn't have that wrap behind text or in front of text. So make this a little smaller there. So I like the way that looks. That's my design. However, I plan on putting it on black background, and I don't want it to be just a sharp edge. So I'm going to insert a word shape. Here we go. And it's going to be, well, I'm going to do a shape here. I can do insert here and do a shape. And then you can see what they are. See, I want you to be able to see what they are. And I'm going to take a square. And I'm going to make this square here so I can look at it. And when I do this, you can double click and get the fill and the line. I want my line to be a different color. I want it to complement my color scheme, so I'm going to pick this one. And I want the width to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to just pump it up. You can see how it's growing over here, and I think that's about right. And I don't want the fill to be blue, obviously. I don't want any, so I'm going to say no fill. And now I've got a frame for my graphic, but I still have to do the arrange and make sure I can wrap it behind the text. And now I'm going to pull it over here. And you can see that's the image that I want. One way to capture that is to do a simple screenshot. And after you do that, you have a full picture. As soon as I can get to it here, the last screenshot. And that's the logo that will go, and I can crop this. I can do, now you can take that and put that into Photoshop or anything else and do what you want to do with it. But as it stands, it's pretty good as itself. I think I might be able to crop a little bit more off it, but I can use that as my logo. Now, if you want to do a little bit fancier font, there aren't a lot of tools to do that in Word, but you can do that in PowerPoint. So let me try another one to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a blank slide. And again, I already know what I'm going to do on my page. It's going to have a black background. So I'm going to change this to a black background so that there isn't a white sort of frame around this that I'm going to do here. So I'm going to format the background and say black, solid fill, and the color will be black. So now I'm working with a black background to make my logo. And this is an image I'm going to use on my informational page associated with the portfolio. I would like to insert here a word art because word art allows me to do a couple of things. If I double click on this, I should be able to format this. And I want to actually bend it and shape it. So if I go here, this is the word art, this is the shape format. I can go to transform and see the paths that they provide for you, and you can warp them and do all kinds of things you want here. And I just want mine to be circular around an image. So I'm going to put that here. And the text that I have in mind for this is, "We are lady." And then I'm going to put another word art in. And I'm going to transform that to the bottom half of that circle. Pull that down here, and the format is Slayers. And what this is about is there's a Tail of the Dragon motorcycle ride, and there are roads all around that. And to be a dragon slayer, you have to ride both ways on the tail of the dragon, and do what they call, we call dragging the dragon. You have to lean so far that you actually drag your boot. And there is a group of us who are lady riders, and we get together and talk about different rides and things of that nature. Now, this is nice, but it's kind of bland, so I have an image that I want to put in here as well, and that's a picture, and that's my dragon. And I need this to go behind the text. And so again, this is reorder the objects, and I'm going to say, or I can just do it right here, to send to back. And now that dragon is behind my image. I can do another screenshot. That was a little too big. I'm going to do a smaller screenshot here. That one's too big too. Let's get a little bit smaller. There we go. Now that I have a screenshot, I can insert that in anything that I'm going to use. And I have my screenshot. And that's my image for my informational page.